All right. Afternoon, everyone. We will go ahead and get things started. We would like to welcome Adam Hadwin to the Media Center here at the RBC Canadian Open. Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
Making your 12th start here at the tournament. We just want to start off with some opening comments, what it's like to have a tournament here in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously incredible to be back in Canada again. It's the one time a year that we get to go back or get to come back and showcase the best of the PGA Tour in front of Canadian fans, and being Canadian, means so much to me, and I'm so proud to represent the Canadian flag everywhere we go internationally, and to be able to come back on home soil and do it once a year is a lot of fun. You wish we could have more opportunities to do it, but this week is always a very special week for us.
What does it mean to have kind of the fan support out here, and what do you expect for the week?
After last year at St. George's, I think everybody expects a big week. The crowds were tremendous last year, and we expect the Canadian fans to show up and support the event and the players, and it's a lot of fun. It's a completely different week from every other week that we play as Canadians, and there is a little bit of added pressure, and I think we all feel it, and we all want to be the one to kind of break the curse. But it's a lot of fun as well.
And newer course, what is the history that you've played here? How familiar are you with this course?
I have nothing. I don't know anything about it. I haven't even seen the golf course yet, so any questions relating to that won't be very useful. I'll play 9 this afternoon and then 9 in the Pro-Am tomorrow morning. It looks from the outside fairly similar to what we've played the last couple years, Hamilton, St. George's, in narrow fairways, thick rough, tree-lined. And so, from the outside looking in, so far it looks really good.
Best finish here on tour this season was with fellow Canadian Nick Taylor. But how is your game feeling as we're at past halfway point?
I am cautiously optimistic about things. I've done a lot of really good things. I just haven't been able to put pieces together for 4 rounds in a while. A lot of mediocre finishes with some miscuts in there, and but I'm working hard. I do think that a lot of it is close. Sometimes it can be a matter of just kind of getting out of your own way sometimes, which is the hardest thing to do, but I'm looking forward to sort of using some of that nervous energy this week with these crowds to kind of turn things around and have a good week.
With that, we'll open up to the media. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic over to you. Go start in the back with Bob Weeks.
Hey, Adam, let me be the guy to ask the question. When did you hear, and what's your reaction to the news of the merger?
I read it like most people when it came out this morning. We were given an email. I read through. We also got an email with comments from Jay regarding it. I don't know. I'll be honest. I think that what's transpired like the last year and a half, and the rhetoric, not only on this side but on that side as well, I think it's difficult to look at that and say, how did we get here now? I do believe that everybody probably saw eventually something happening. I don't know if it was a complete merger, quote unquote, like it is, but certainly the entities coming together or finding a way to coexist so that the best players could continue to play against each other more often and not just at the 4 majors right now. But in this way, I don't know if people saw it. Like, I don't know if I ever saw it in this way. But beyond that, there's so many details to be worked out and that haven't been talked about and discussed. I don't know if I could go any further than that on it. Just too many unknowns.
And we have in the back here with Amy.
Adam, you mentioned the unknowns. What are some of the answers you're hoping to get from the player meeting later today?
You know, I don't even know if at this point you could even get the answers that you'd want. I don't even know if they have those answers yet. I think one of the big things will be moving forward is how our players reintegrated back into the system. If they are, I mean, again, we don't even know if they will be. I mean, so, you know, that being one of the big talking points throughout this year and a half from the commissioner about how these guys will never play on the PGA Tour again. It'll be interesting. You know, I'm not privy to these conversations. I'm not high enough up to really even have the commissioner's ear, which is fine. I understand how things run and businesses run. And so as a very interested spectator, I will be, you know, viewing things of how this all plays out. It just, like I said, I think anybody who thought about it logically would see that something was going to have to happen. Fracture is a strong word, but you can't take away the best players in the game and have them at separate events and only be together for 4 weeks a year. It's not putting the best golf product forward. However, again, happening this quick and in this way is surprising.
We're moving over to the front right.
Adam, Simon Dingley from CBC News. What are your concerns morally about the PGA getting into bed with LIV?
Man, you know, at this point, without, I don't know. I'm not one to start making absolute arguments here about doing this or doing that. You know, again, I'm a player, and I play golf, and obviously, I'm going to have opinions on things, but I don't have a say in how the tours run. I don't have I've been doing this and tried to do this for the last 21 years of my life to play golf professionally. And at some point, I can't control what the entity that I play for does. And so, can you do certain things as a player to stay away from it? Sure, but at some point, you know, like I said, I've dedicated my entire life to being at golf's highest level. I'm not about to stop playing golf because the entity that I play for has joined forces with the Saudi government.
Adam, on the right.
Adam, what are your thoughts about this news dropping today and overshadowing the one time a year you get to play in Canada and probably will for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I thought about that coming here as well, and I think it's, you know, last year was the return of the Canadian Open after having missed two, and it was going up against the first LIV event. And I know that sort of overshadowed early in the week. Obviously, with the event that took place, it worked out as a massive win. I can't help but feel sad for the Canadian Open once again that this news drops Tuesday of what is our National Open, a very important event for golf in Canada, and hopefully viewed from the PGA Tour standpoint as an important event to them. And now, once again, we're overshadowed what, like you said, most likely for the entire week. My hope is that we end up with, you know, hopefully myself, if not myself, 2 or 3 other Canadians in contention with Rory, with Justin Rose, with Tyrrell, with these guys, these top players that are here. And we can put the emphasis back on the event that what happened last year, but I can't help but feel for the event now.
We have over here on the right side.
Hey, Adam. You mentioned at the PGA Championship that you were interested in whether the new PGA Tour model or LIV Golf model was sustainable. What does today's announcement tell you about that, if anything?
Obviously, I don't know specifics. Like I said, I'm viewing everything from sort of an outsider's perspective. I don't know the inner workings year to year of the tour, trying to run events, but again, from like we discussed, from an outsider's perspective, pumping a bunch of money in that maybe wasn't there to begin with, is it sustainable? You know, that's kind of what we talked about at the PGA. And I am an outsider deducing that it wasn't. I'm an outsider saying that between, you know, the PIF and the way that LIV was running, they might have been hemorrhaging too much cash. Gosh, I mean, it's so hard not to get into some of this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Clearly there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that nobody was aware of, that between the two entities, they decided that it was best moving forward if they got together.
And about we're at a National Open, your National Open. Compared to everything else that's going on, what is it about this tournament and tournaments like this that is maybe more towards the essence of why you got into the sport, and what separates it from everything else that's happening today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that any one of us really got started to play for money, let's say. Obviously, that is a large reason of why we do what we do. I get to live a very comfortable life, traveling the world, playing a sport that when I first started playing, I didn't have any, I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen with it, to be honest. I grew up playing different sports. My dad was in the business, taught for a living, so I've been around it my whole life. And I went out there when I first really started getting into golf, and I enjoyed, you know, competing against myself, really. And I love the fact that I didn't have to lean on anybody. That's what I really love about this game. It sounds so selfish, but, you know, I remember playing high school sports, and you would play, and you could have the greatest game of your life and lose. Or you could have the worst game of your life and win. And I couldn't deal with that. Mentally, I didn't know how to get over that. And golf, if I play the absolute best that I can, I win. And if somebody else beats me, I shake their hand and I say, congratulations. I can't do any better. And if I play like crap, I got to get better. I know that. It comes from me. And so to come through all of that and now to be on the game's best stage in front of Canadian fans, and to know that you have a chance to do something that hasn't been done since 1954 is, I mean, that's why we get up every morning and work as hard as we do to do that. And so I really am looking forward to a great week. It's unfortunate that it's been overshadowed by this announcement.
We have Adam, front left for you.
Hey, Adam. If you were to get in the mix on Sunday, you know, you're hearing obviously the Canadian crowd. Would you lean on that and have them hopefully lift you up, or would you try to block out that noise and just try to concentrate on the job at hand?
I mean, we're obviously trying to block out as much as we can, focus on the task at hand, hit the shots, but I think that I would be stupid not to think that, you know, an entire, hopefully, you know, depending on who I'm going up against, I'm sure that they're going to have a rooting interest in them as well. But, you know, hopefully have an entire country around me, with me, and to carry me home. I think that to be in that situation as a Canadian coming down the stretch, I think you need them. I think you have to embrace it, and you have to feed off of it. I think trying to go against it and maybe fight it and block it out, I think it would be too much to handle. Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have for questions. Adam, thanks for taking the time joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.